adapting in general has always been difficult for anyone, the human race especially, and mostly for us. I think anyone who's Gen X, Gen Y, and Gen Z. I think Gen Y and Gen Z in general tend to have the hardest time with adapting. So I would love to call myself Gen Z, but I think I'm more like Gen Y. So on the earlier side of the millennials. But the reason I give the millennials a context here is because most of us are very used to having things set out. Like we have 5-year plans and we have 10-year plans, and then we have our parents or our jobs or our education or all the boxes that we tick off to kind of ensure that we have a smooth life, if you will, and smooth trajectory into whatever goals we hope to accomplish. However, we're not very used to change, and especially the kind of shocking change that the pandemic has brought about has completely thrown everyone, as far as I can see, off course. In fact, I recently wrote a piece for a book. It's an anthology called Life During COVID-19. And I wrote a piece on resilience. Because for me, technically, COVID-19, if you will, started when I was 18 years old, a very long time ago. But the reason I say that is because when I was getting ready to go to college in the US, and I was living in India at the time. I grew up in Chennai. And when I was ready to go ahead and take on the world and achieve all the dreams that I had a massive fatal car accident where I lost my face essentially. So I had 455 skull fractures. I lost 75% of my vision, and it was all over. It was all over on that day, March 16, 2002. So for me, if you will, I had to accommodate change, not just change, but devastation at a very, very young age. And I think the reason I feel empathetic and very sort of in tune with everyone around me right now is because they're sort of experiencing it in their own ways as well. Not that I'm sure people have had their own kinds of challenges, but this is a very complete sort of change in terms of, businesses are shutting down, people are losing jobs, schools aren't opening, anyone who was planning to start a degree in 2020 is probably reconsidering, gap years are being forced on people. And of course, the economics of it is always a stressor. So the reason I feel I wanted to give you a little bit of background before I address the new normal is because this new normal has taken so much away from us. And we're actually, all of us are experiencing a sense of loss and a sense of grief, which has to be acknowledged before we can, sort of blend into the new normal. In fact, the fact remains we do all have technology, and work from home is facilitated with, Wi-Fi and, having you on the other side of I feel like we're sitting next to each other, but that's, with the internet and all that it has. But I think a lot of people are sort of used to meeting and greeting and exchanging words and having conversations. And, now everything seems to have become so impersonal, and everyone's living in this bubble. And most of the time, our sense of self is often validated by people around us. And now there's nobody. I mean, unless your computer suddenly has a voice and tells you you're looking beautiful or you're okay or tomorrow is going to be fine. Most of us have lost our systems of, feeling okay, and I use okay loosely. But so to address, how the new normal, I think for me, I guess I am used to extreme states of adaptation since I was very young. But the way I'm seeing people around me adapt, I think corporates which are being, sort of have been early adopters of technology, in fact, who had adopted technology even before the pandemic, are finding it a lot easier. And people who are possibly working in the technology sector itself before this were not necessarily too, the whole concept of work from home wasn't too foreign to them, or they were kind of used to picking up their laptops and moving along. But for most of this country, if not the entire world, we've lost our sense of self in terms of who we are in reflection to somebody else. It's the proverbial tree in the forest, right? It only exists if somebody sees you. So now we're all experiencing like, wait, new normal. Now, do I exist? Do I not exist? Does my life matter? Does it not matter? I think some very big questions are coming up, but I don't want to, run away with this. So please, I hope I've sort of in some way answered your question. But the new normal, I think, has also been, while the word started, I think people who started using it in May, I believe May, June, and until a vaccine is found, I think this is going to be the way things are. And even if we do find a vaccine, I'm not sure if people are going to want to go back to the way their lives were before, because there on the other side, there's an upside to this new normal, because there actually is an upside, and I'm always called an eternal optimist, so I must share that with you. It's that we never have time to do everything that we always wanted to do, because you're calling people are coming over, you're at work, you're traveling, you've always got too much to do, and there's so much chaos and noise and all of that. But I find people who have sort of adjusted, or at least are trying to embrace this new normal, are starting to pick up hobbies, old projects, art, creativity, and pursue goals that had sort of somehow found their way shoved off into the cupboard somewhere, because they were too busy in the rat race, if you will. So I think there's an upside and there's a downside to it. But I think the biggest question that people are being confronted with is, how comfortable are you with yourself? Right? The question is, are you your own best company? And most people aren't, or at least they may be their own best company, they just don't know it. So most people have a really hard time being alone, especially in India, since we have so many people. But I'm just saying, a lot of people have a very hard time being alone. And I wanted to sort of reflect on this a little bit, because I've lived in the West for a significant amount of time. I spent 10 years in the US. And this was more in line with when my accident happened. I had to travel to the US to have surgery, because no one could do the kind of complex surgery that was needed here. So I spent 3 years in the hospital, actually 3 years, 3 of my most formative years, where I didn't know if I was going to live the next day. And my face was gone, and I didn't see my mother for 2 years. And my father used to come and go, because he had to travel to and from India to support the situation. So I've seen this before in a different context, obviously, and I had to become my own best friend. And I had to be okay with, my own company if I had to live. And to be honest, I think that is the most important foundation of the new normal, is that, are you okay on your own? Or do you really just need somebody else to tell you, okay, you're fine? So, I think this is going to be the biggest challenge, if you will, but also in a sense, a very big opportunity. A very big opportunity, an opportunity to be independent, emotionally independent, spiritually independent. Even if the economics are currently under siege, there are other wins to be had, in my opinion. So the new normal presents both opportunities and challenges.